All right, so this is our last video for this lesson, and we're going to finally code our app. So we've designed it. You guys read how to connect your tablet or Android device, and now we're ready to program it to make our app actually do something, because that's the whole point of this process anyway. So right now we are still, I have my project open here. We're still in the design view, so we want to go ahead and switch over to our blocks view, which is our code. All right, so this white area, which they have called the viewer, is like our workspace from code.org. This is where all of our code goes to make our app do whatever it is we want it to do. On the left, we have our blocks. Now, you don't see any blocks right now. They're just kind of color-coded into different blocks. So since this is our first app, we're not going to be using most of these. Oh, that's the bell at the end of school. So we're going to go down here to where it has our components. So we have screen 1 and we have button 1. And if I click on these, you're going to notice that the blocks are going to change. So these are all the blocks that deal with screen 1, and these are all the blocks that deal with button 1. All right, so we need to think, all right? And I want you to see if you guys can kind of think of this on your own. So what do we want to happen in our app? What is the first thing that needs to happen? So if I go back to Designer, we have a button, all right? And right now the button says change screen color. So what we want to happen is when we click this button on our Android device, we want this screen color to change to a different color, all right? So we're gonna go back to button 1 here, and we're gonna go ahead and click on that. And it's gonna bring up our blocks. We want to always start with a yellow block, okay? These are what they call events. And events are something that you learned back in 7th grade and 6th grade. And events are things that actually can happen. So, for example, would be a click of a button, all right? That would be an event. So the nice thing is, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you look, the first one, it says when button 1 click, do something. And right now it's blank, but that's the one we want because we want to be able to click the button back here in the designer view, and we want it to what? Change the color of the screen. So right here, we need to figure out what goes in here. All right, now we need to go back here and find a block that needs to go in there. So I want you to pause this video right now, and then pause the video, and then I want you to figure out what block you think goes in there, and then start the video again to see if you're right. All right, so if you paused it, you came back, what block needs to go there? Well, what are we changing? Now, a lot of people say we're going to change the button. We're not actually changing the button. We want the button to stay blue. We want the text color to stay red. We're not changing the button. We're actually changing the screen. So if you went into screen, that's where you want to go. Now, the nice thing about this is like a puzzle. If you notice the shape that needs to go in here, all right, this is the shape that it looks like. So if I go back into screen and I look for that shape, I'll move this over here so you guys can see. Now, these purple blocks, these two purple blocks, they could go in there. They fit. They have a little notch here and a little notch here. But if you look at what these purple blocks say, it says something about permission and keyboard. We don't want those because those don't make sense. All right, we want to click the button to do what? Change the color of the screen. So let's scroll down some more and let's see which ones we find. Now, I'm hoping you found the one that we want. Now, you're going to notice all these say screen 1 and then something. Okay, these are all different properties. So if you look, there are 2 that say background color. Screen 1 background color, screen 1 background color. What's the one that fits? It's the dark green one. So that's the one that we need. So we're going to snap it in. Okay, it's going to make a little click sound. And we're not done. Notice how there is an empty slot right here. In order for things to work, you have to complete and fill in all the missing slots. And even here, there's a red X that's telling you, hey, something's wrong, you need to fix it. So what do you think goes here? We need a color. We need to change it from orange or yellow or whatever color you have. We need to change it to another color. Where do you think you're going to go? Well, let's look over to the left. And you're going to notice right here, it says colors. If you click it, there is a list of colors that you can pick from. And I'll show you how to even pick more colors. So pick a color. Let me use light blue. And if you click the light blue, there's all the different colors that you can choose from. All right. So I'm going to click, I'll do red. All right. So this is our code. It's not a lot, but this is what we want to happen for our button. How do we know if it works? Well, if you're in class, we're going to connect our tablets again. If you're not in class, there's really no way you can see if this works unless you have an Android device. So if you have an Android device, remember, this is how you connect it. We're going to open up our little Bumblebee app, the companion app, which I can see is right there. Okay, we're going to open that app. All right, then on our laptops, we're going to go to Connect up at the top. We're going to click AI Companion. It's going to bring up a QR code. We're going to hit Scan QR code. We're going to hold up our device. We're going to scan. We're going to wait a couple seconds. Okay, it's going to load. It's loading. And then there's our app. All right, so we need to see if this button works. So we're going to click it. Look at that. My screen is now red because that is what my code says right here. When button one click, change the background color of the screen to red. Now, if you click the button again, nothing's going to happen. It's not going to go back to its original color. Why? You didn't code it to do that. All right? You always have to code whatever you want to happen. Believe it or not, computers are actually pretty stupid. They only do what you tell them to do. So if you don't tell them to do something and you say, Mr. Kennedy, this isn't working, chances are you probably didn't code it right and you're probably not telling the computer what you want it to do. All right, so in this app, we only have a couple lines of code. We have a couple blocks. As we get further and further and we do our first app, this was only a test app, you will see how we can start getting into some complicated stuff. So again, this was a test project just to get you used to using AppInventor, connecting your tablets, testing it out. All right, so that's it for this lesson. Hope you guys learned some stuff, some things. And again, if you guys have any problems, just shoot me an email. Bye.